I have right now Silo Moses that's gone from homeless to feeding thousands. This is a serious one. This is a deal. I was like, what? Are you serious? Well, he's here right now, and I'm going to be interviewing him. I just want to know, you ready? Anything you're not comfortable to ask questions? If you're not happy with the questions I ask, please let me know. And I will know if you don't feel comfortable. I feel like I have the knack to know this now. I've interviewed hundreds of people now. So the way it works in Born Leader is how it works is this is a safe zone. The whole community is safe. You can ask questions, you can network. Anyone that has any questions, you can ask Silo right in between if you feel to, because that's how Silo wants to do it. It's very interactive. Get your pen and paper, as he's mentioned before, as he's mentioned when we didn't hit record. Also, as well, there's a pin post where Silo is videos there of me and him, and you can ask questions there. So we always go back to it after this broadcast is done. You can still catch it on demand. Silo, the way I do my interviews is I always like to go way back onto the earliest memory. If it means that you can remember yourself from when you was given birth to, like, we take it there. That's how deep it goes. Good?
Let's
Yeah?
go.
Where are you
Let's
joining
go.
in from? Where are you joining in from?
I'm out in Las Vegas, in Nevada.
Okay.
Las Vegas, Nevada, in the US.
Okay, so the time is for you, I believe it was 2 p.m. or 8 minutes past 2 now.
2
Okay,
p.m. 2 p.m. Pacific Standard.
okay, so I'm in the UK, Garland, England, Ken, and I want to know, what's your earliest memory? What was your earliest memory? What was your that you saw, like, and how did it make you feel?
Yeah. Before I answer, hold on a second. Okay. What I want to do is I know my people here from either they in my side my community or they follow me and they join your community just to get the show. We have a tradition inside our community. I would love to actually start this podcast off that way
Okay,
and
let's do it. Let's do it.
introduce you to everyone who's on this call to our tradition.
Okay,
Okay.
what's the
So
tradition?
our tradition is what's called a power clap. Called a power clap. And I'm going to
Okay,
demonstrate it for you. And then I have everyone who's on the call participate in this. Okay. So here's what a power clap is. Okay. A power clap is 1, 2, 3. Very simple. What brings in the power is how we end this clap. And the way that we end it is with a big "Hurrah!"
okay.
You
I
gotta
love it.
feel it. It's gotta come up from your stomach, up through your chest, and out your mouth. So when we give that huh, you gotta feel it from your tip of your tippy toes all the way up to your mouth, and it's gotta come out, and it's gotta make that vibration in the air that people in the next country can feel it. Are you ready?
Okay, okay, let's go
Yes?
for it.
All
Okay,
right, so I'm going to count it off. When I count it off, we're going to go 3, 2, 1, and simultaneously, all together, we're going to go and bring those elbows in and give out the biggest yelp you've got. Ready? In
okay.
3, 2,
Two,
1.
one. Oh! Okay,
Now we
okay,
can
okay.
officially begin, and that is the power clap. So
I
if
feel
you
like
know
I've
the
woken
power
up my
clap,
neighbors. Great.
if you know the power clap, that means we are bringing love to you. You are part of the community. You are part of the tribe. So that is us welcoming you in. So welcome to the power clap. And now we can officially get this episode started. So to answer your question, going way back, grew up in New Jersey here in the States and spent a lot of my time in Jersey and New York. Moved out to Vegas roughly 8 years ago, almost 9 years ago now, and moved out here simply because I met a girl while I was out here on vacation. She happened to be my cocktail waitress at the time. We met, we exchanged numbers. I went back to Jersey. We had a long distance relationship. We talked 2 to 3 times every single day, hours on end for 6 months. And it
Pause a
got to the
second.
point.
Are we
Yeah.
still a child?
Well, no.
You just flew
Well,
from the
I was,
childhood.
yeah.
You're on fire like Silo. Slow it down,
Yeah.
slow it down. So your earliest memory, you met your girlfriend in your earliest memory?
Yeah,
You
I
was
was 2
babies?
and she was 2.5. I like younger women. And
Oh,
so she was no,
hold
I'm
up. So your
kidding.
sweetheart, you met her when you was a toddler.
No. All right. So going back to I digressed. Let me go back. Okay. So going back to your
You're on
earliest
fire.
childhoods.
Oh my God.
Earliest childhoods. This is what happens when you give the power clap. You just get into it. You get right into it. It
Okay,
lights you up.
okay.
It
I was
lights you
like,
up.
hold up a second, something's not quite right in this story. Go on.
So yeah, no, going back earliest childhood memories, family, single mom, worked 3 jobs. I have 4 brothers and a sister. I'm the oldest. Dad, don't know who he is, don't know if he's alive, don't know anything about him. And so growing up, mom had to work 3 jobs, essentially just to keep food in the fridge. She had 4 growing boys and a daughter, right? And so the only time I was able to communicate with my mom was when she was on the couch sleeping in between jobs. So that led me to start to become the leader in the household at a very young age, right? I was 6, 7 years old, and I'm in the kitchen making dinner for my brothers and sisters, right?
Wow.
And what this turned into later in life, which we'll get into, is a a feeling of being in service to others, right?
So,
I mean, at a very young age, I didn't know what that was. I had no definition of it. But
mhm.
as I look back on it now, this was the early stepping stones into what I do today,
So
right?
would you say well, let me not go into like put words in your mouth. Who was your role model when you was like your earliest role model?
Earliest role model was my grandfather. My
Yeah.
grandfather was in the military. He was a lifer. He went in at 18, retired at 65. Very strong man, very smart. He knew 6 different languages. He was a scholar. He read all of the time. You would never see him in front of a TV. If you ever found him, it was in his office slash library reading. And when I was very, very young, and even today, I love to read. And I'm the same way. You'll never catch me in front of a TV. You'll never catch me on the couch watching 8 hours of Stranger Things. I would rather be reading a book than be engaging in any other way. Not that there's anything wrong with sitting on the couch and watching Stranger Things for eight
So so
hours. I hear
so
it's a
so
fantastic
yeah, how
show.
you even know about it if you don't watch it?
It's everywhere. It's everywhere. I have
Okay,
friends that
it's
tell me,
everywhere.
"Oh, have you watched
Oh,
Stranger Things?" I'm like, "What is that?"
oh really? Okay. So did you
But
go you 6 years old, you're looking after your family. Did you have any education or how does that look for you, a 6 year
Yeah,
old?
so yeah, 6 yeah, basically I'm the head of the household at 6 when mom's not around. So I'm the one making sure they're taking showers. I'm the one making sure they ate, making sure they do their homework. I'm waking up early. I'm walking them out to the bus to make sure they get on the bus. And I'm making sure they get off the bus and I'm walking them home, right? Even at a young age of 6. And I did this all the way up to the point where I was able to finally move out and they were able to take care of themselves, which is roughly around 17, 18 years old, right?
So you went
Um,
college, you went no, hold on. So you went kindergarten, you went what's after kindergarten? Elementary,
Elementary. Yep.
and then you went to college.
Yeah. High school, well, middle school, high school, then college. Yep.
What was your elementary like? Was you learning? Because if you're at a young age and you're looking after your siblings, did you even have the capacity, was you awake? Was you alert to be able to pick in to get any education in?
Well, I had 2 things when I was younger that, were the reasons why I even graduated. 1, I was super social, and 2, I was good in sports.
Okay, okay,
So,
okay.
in the classroom for me was a time for me to actually have my kid time. So, I was very much the kid in class who cut the jokes and was never quiet, never sat still, right? Teachers hated me, but it was my only time to be a kid, right?
Yeah,
And so that's where I became a kid was when I was in classroom. Yes, maybe it slightly would have been disruptive, but that was the only time I had a chance to be me. And what got me through school was the fact that, like I said, I was sociable. Even though my teachers didn't like how I acted in class, they still liked me. I was still, for some reason, their teacher's pet because, I did like my teachers. I did like what they were teaching. I was seriously interested, but I had no other outlet to be a kid except for in the classroom.
yeah.
And so and then I was really good at sports. So if I was falling behind in like math, my football coach would be like, "Hey, just let him slide. Silo's good." I don't know if
Oh,
that's
wow.
ethical or not.
So you had it good in a way. Okay. So
Well,
would you say you learned anything other than sports? Would you say sports was just the main highlight? What are we saying? And what sports are we referring to?
Yeah, I enjoyed football. I loved football a lot. So I played football all throughout elementary and into junior high. And in junior high, I switched over to wrestling. So I wrestled, and then I wrestled into sophomore year in high school. And then junior year in high school, I picked up soccer, and I've been playing soccer ever since.
Oh wow. So when soccer, as in football, as in UK, we call it football. You're saying
Football.
soccer. So
Yeah,
you was doing American
UK's football.
football, and you quit the American football and did soccer. That's
Yep.
interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So what happened with your studying? Did you just focus on the sports, or did you go? What happened? What was what's the process?
Yeah, I did enough to get by, right? And that's just being honest. Could I have pushed myself in the classroom and gotten straight A's? Of course. But I became satisfied with just getting C's and C pluses. And the reason I did that was because I didn't have the capacity to be able to put all of my energy into one thing, because I had to put my energy into 10 different things. If it wasn't sports, if it wasn't classroom, if it wasn't, being the father at home to my brothers and sisters at such a young age, if it wasn't running a household, if it wasn't doing all of these things, I probably would have been able to put in 100% and became an A plus student. But I was okay with being C plus. I was passing. My teachers loved me. I had friends in class, right? I was taking care of my brothers and sisters. I was making sure they were fed. So I was happy at where I was at. I didn't really strive for anything more than that.
Okay, okay. So at the age where we're at now, we're like, how old are we? Like saying we're a teenager now, we're at that kind of stage. Did you
Going to
know
high
where you
school,
wanted to, high school? So is that around about that age? High
yeah.
school? Yeah. So what was your vision? Did you have an idea of, did you see yourself as where you're at now, or where was you inspiring to be?
Yeah. So where I grew up in Jersey wasn't necessarily the nicest place. In all transparency, where I grew up was the projects, and
Yeah.
in the projects, it's very rough, right? My next door neighbor was a massive cocaine dealer. My next door neighbor to my left was an alcoholic who stole things and he's a kid. We're all the same age. We're all in high school. And so these were people that I did not want to emulate. I kept them at an arm's distance, if that makes sense. Even at a very young age, I still knew this is not what I want. Like, I don't want to touch any of this. Right. But
Okay.
what I did see was from a distance that they had nice things, especially my neighbor, who was a drug dealer. He always had the latest Nikes on. He always had the cleanest clothes. He never wore the same hat twice. And me being in the projects, mom working 3 jobs, there's not enough food in the fridge. You can see that this can get tempting. The smartest thing that I did, though, was I never did any of that. I found my own way to get what he got, but to do it in a way that's ethical. So a friend of mine in school, he was very creative. And I was working retail. We're in high school now, so I have a job too. So I'm working retail, and I'm working for like a print t-shirt company. And part of the perks of being a employee here was that I got my t-shirts at discount. Sometimes it was 65% discount because my employer was buying shirts in bulk, right? 100 shirts, 100 t-shirts at a time. I had a good friend of mine in school who was a fantastic artist. And every time he drew something on paper, I noticed that people were paying attention. They're like, wow, that's beautiful. How'd you do that? Can you draw that for me? Can you do this for me? And so I walked up to him and go, hey, you ever thought about taking your designs and putting them on a t-shirt? He's like, what do you mean? He's like, well, you got the demand. You got people's interest. What if we threw it on a t-shirt? I work for a printer. What if we threw them on a t-shirt and sold them to the people who are interested in your paintings? And now they can wear them. Now you got promotion. Now you got marketing. And let's team up. We can do it together. We'll split the profits 50-50. What do you think? I'll buy the first round of t-shirts. You draw. I'll get them printed. And we just sell them to anyone who says those pictures are amazing. He said, let's do
Nice.
it. So we started a company. And this was 16, maybe 15, 16. And we
You was
were,
15, 16 years old?
yeah, yep.
Okay, okay.
And so we started a t-shirt company. We called it RC Style. Don't ask me where that name came from. We were kids. Didn't even mean anything. And so we got the shirts printed up. Next thing you know, We're selling T-shirts. We're selling them out of our lockers during breaks, in between math and gym, in between gym and lunch. We're selling out like hotcakes. I can't hold them in my locker. And next thing you know, here we are. We're two kids, and we're making $500 a week, $600 a week each, selling T-shirts for $17.
Nice.
Back when T-shirts were only selling for like $6 or $8.
Yeah.
And here I am now, and I'm able to kind of buy the things that I see my neighbor to the left who's doing things unethically, some might say, unmorally, some might say, but now I'm able to buy those same sneakers. Now I'm able to buy that same T-shirt and buy those same hats, and I just found my way of doing it ethically,
Did it draw
right?
attention to you, would you say? Did it bring attention to you from from the being in the projects, as we call it, the hood in the UK? Did it bring any attention to you? The fact you
It
was
did.
looking
It
different?
did. Yeah, it did. Which eventually, we had to move out of the projects because it was causing too much attention. And that's a different story, right? Success does that, even in adult age. It just brings something out of people. Sometimes it brings a positive. Sometimes it brings the opposite of positive out of people,
So
and that's okay, right?
so
And
who
so
moved out? You moved out on your own, or you moved out with the family?
I moved out. I moved out as soon as I knew my brothers and sisters were okay and they could feed themselves and they can shower and they can wash themselves and they can get
Okay,
themselves
okay,
right. So as
okay.
soon as I hit 18, I moved out. Right. So
Right.
because I had a little bit of money, I give my mom money. My mom now she only worked 2 jobs versus 3. Like we had some stability in the household, and so I was good to go. I was confident with everyone's okay. Now I can go and live my life.
So Leanne saying being the head of the household at 6 years old is incredible. I love this kind of connection, seeing the need and meeting it, social entrepreneurship. 16 years of age, and she said, success brings out the positive and the bad in people. True.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So from there on, I moved out, and now it was time for me to enjoy my life. So I became a DJ.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I had a little bit of money. I had a friend of mine who was a DJ. He had equipment. I would practice on it. And I started off doing, now I'm out of the house, right? I'm 18, I'm out of the house. I'm learning how to become a DJ. I got really good at it. I started off in backyards doing, bar mitzvahs and birthday parties and barbecues and doing them for free and bringing all my equipment, setting my equipment up, breaking it down, right? All that good
Yeah.
stuff, all for free, just for like a free plate of food, right? But I knew that doing this was building my skill and my craft. I just knew it. You couldn't tell me any different. So the free DJing didn't bother me whatsoever. And
So
I
you were
did about
spinning the
100.
decks. Was you on the mic as well? Or did you
Yep,
have a
on the
mic?
mic as well.
On the
Yep.
mic. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Gonna get you to do a
So,
1 2 1 2 in a bit. Cool.
that led to me being, now I'm 19 and I'm gotten a pretty nice following from doing all the barbecues and backyard parties, and now I'm doing lounges. I'm 19 years old. Here in the States, you got to be 21 to enter a bar, but the bartenders are still hiring me. They're like, "You got such a great following. People talk about you. You're a great DJ. We want to hire you. If anyone comes in and asks for your ID, just run out the back door." so, uh, so I started doing little nightclubs and bars, and that turned into becoming a DJ for the much bigger bars in New York City, much bigger nightclubs in New York City. So by the time I was 24, 25, I was DJing in a nightclub that held 6,000 people.
Damn.
And so I was DJing full time, didn't need a job. I was making more than enough money. I was in demand where I didn't have to uh, essentially go out and find a job, which is for any DJ, even today, is like the epitome of being a DJ, is being able to do it full time and not have to work a daytime job.
Oh yeah, 100%. Wow. That is incredible. So you've gone, so you still selling the clothes, or you just completely quit the clothes now and you're just a full-time DJ?
No, quit the clothes, and that was just something I did just to make money, help out my mom, help out the family, right? Moved out, became a DJ because that was my thing. It was like, this is something I can do for me, right?
Right.
Which was
Yeah.
DJing. And now that takes me back to Vegas. So I'm a DJ at this point, and at the peak of my DJ career, I'm also managing music artists. So I'm doing these big nightclubs, music artists are coming to me. Hey, I'm a music artist. Can you play my music? I'm underrepresented. Do you know someone who can help me get a record deal or into a record agency, whatever, what have you? And I said, okay, I don't know. I'll listen to it. If I like it, maybe I'll play it. If I don't like it, then I won't play it. Sorry. And I started to meet artists who had exceptional talent and skill. And it got to the point where it's like, what do you mean you're not represented? Your music's amazing. They're like, I'm not represented. I go, great. Guess what? I'm your new manager. Didn't know what I was doing. I was like, I'm going to manage you. I have no idea what I'm doing, but I'm going to manage you. Right. And I learned how to manage a music artist. And so I had Interscope Records, I had AMA, I had a lot of companies that I would bring music artists to, and I'd bring them to their A&Rs, and their A&Rs would listen and go, this is great, okay, good. And then they'd move them up the ladder. As soon as they got a record deal, I was good. I was like, cool, I got you to the record deal. I'm going to turn around and go back and DJ and find the next one. And that's what I did. I did it for a lot of good groups, a lot of good bands, a lot of individual solo artists. One of my artists was up for the Las Vegas Music Awards as an unsigned artist, but we had him on college radio. We had him anywhere. His music was fire. And so we flew out to Las Vegas for the Las Vegas Music Awards. He was up for Best Male R&B Artist, unsigned, and he didn't win. Okay, but he did get the nom, right? Which was great for an unknown artist.
Oh yeah, 100%. And do I know this artist? Because I was my background is from the music industry, so I'm like, wow, we got a lot more in common than I thought. And I was managing artists as well, so that's even more interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so you didn't get the win, but you got the nom. That's the most important thing. Wow.
But we got the nom. Yep. And then
whoa.
While I was here on vacation, that's where I met, and this brings us back to Las Vegas and why I moved out here. That's where I met the girl who was my cocktail waitress, and that's where our long distance relationship started. And
is that the one that was 2 years old?
That was a joke, by the way, for anyone that's listening.
I was still riding on that
one. But no, now I'm like 20, 28, 29, right? When I met her. And so went back to Jersey. We had a long distance relationship, got to the point where I was like, hey, listen, we're getting super serious. So it's either you're moving to Jersey or I'm moving to Vegas. So somebody's got to make a decision. And she said, well, I'll never live in Jersey. I said, okay, looks like I'm moving to Vegas. So I sold all my stuff, packed up my car, whatever I could pack up in it. And I drove cross country and moved to Vegas for her. I have no family here, no friends here, and knew absolutely no one. But I came here for her. And so, yeah.
As we do. We got similarities, man. It's crazy. It's crazy. We give up everything for a woman. I'm hoping this story goes nice. Mine don't go too nice either. Okay. Fair enough. So that love makes you do some crazy things. But I didn't even know the interview was going to be going down this route. But okay, let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go. Okay.
Yeah, we're getting a lot of heart emojis. So yes.
Yeah, I see. Yeah.
Yes. So from there, we were together for almost 8 years, and during that time, we had a son together. So I have a son now, and so the relationship was fantastic. And this brings us now into more of the future, into what I do, and etc. Right. So keep in mind, everything that I've done up to this point in my story has always been some type of serving someone else, putting myself aside, which there's nothing wrong with that, to serve a much higher mission, a much higher vision for either making those immediately around me safe and comfortable, or those just outside arm's length comfortable and safe. So whether it was me running the household at 6, or it's me starting a clothing company for a friend of mine who I knew had potential as a great drawer, or if it was DJing and making other people have the best night of their lives, even though I'm working.
Yeah.
Right. It's all been in service to someone else.
Throughout the whole time. Yes.
The whole time. Okay. And this is going to play into something much later too. So stick around. All right. So here we are. My girlfriend and I have our son. We're in Vegas. I live here now. And I quit DJing because she didn't like it. She didn't like the attention. She didn't like the women. She didn't like the phone calls, the hours, even though I was 100% loyal. She just didn't like it. She did not get it. She didn't like the spotlight. And so she came to me one day and she basically, and this is not why we broke up, but it leads there. She came to me one day and she goes, listen, I don't like your DJing. It's either DJing or me. And the very next
Oh,
day I sold all my DJ equipment.
oh wow. Oh, wow.
Yep.
That's deep.
So I quit and I haven't DJed since. And so I sold the equipment, went out and got a daytime job. First job I've had pretty much my entire life, right? Because I was almost an entrepreneur in high school, right? Entrepreneur during college because I DJed the entire time. So for the first time, I'm out in the job market going on interviews with an empty resume because they're like, how are you 30 years old and never worked? I was like, I don't know.
Oh my
so
God.
so,
Crazy.
but luckily, I found a daytime job. So I got a daytime job, and it was much different type of. It was a daytime job working in a office building, so it was a legitimate job working in a cubicle, 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, and the uh, the employer took a liking to me, and at this time, my son's born, and I don't there's nothing anyone can tell you about how to get ready and prepare for a child. I don't
Well,
care what they say.
that's
There's
true.
nothing. No one can
No,
tell you. Nothing.
no book, nothing.
And so when he came along, I was met with, yes, raising another human being, but I had no idea how pricey it is. Diapers and clothes and formula. And I was, what is going on? I was in a tornado whirlwind. All of a sudden the money I was making was flying out the door because he's growing fast. Clothes that fit him yesterday don't fit him today. And he's
Yeah,
always going to need diapers, and you're going to need a car seat and a stroller, and you're going to need this and that. And
facts.
at this time, the daytime job wasn't cutting it because I'm still paying for rent, I'm still paying for car payments, I'm still paying for utilities, and then him and my girl, even though she worked, she was bringing money in, but it still wasn't enough. My employer, though, did like me, and I brought some of these concerns to him. And he gave me a promotion. He said, I'm going to help you out. I'm going to give you a promotion. I'm going to make you a manager. You're going to have your own team. You're going to run your team. And anything that your team sells, we were in insurance. We worked for Blue Cross Blue Shield. And we were kind of like their front end. So people would call us and we'd be like, hey, what kind of health insurance you got? Well, if you switched over here, you'd get da da da, right?
Yeah.
And when they switched, we would get a little bit of a slice of that. And he goes, okay, I'm going to give you a slice of everything that you get, your team does. Will that help you? I go, yes. So he gives me a team. My team is about 7 reps, and we're crushing it. We're the number one team in the office, right? We're absolutely killing it, making him a ton of money. After 6 months, I see he rolls up in a brand new Ferrari. I go, okay, well, makes sense. We're making him a bunch of money. Cool. Then I see it start to escalate. And he's got the Ferrari, he's got the watch, he's buying designer suits, he's doing this. And I start to see that he's kind of taking stuff away in the office. Like, we used to have a coffee machine, now we don't. We used to have a vending machine, now we don't. I'm like, what's
What?
going on here?
Oh my God.
So one day I come into the office, and this is going to lead up to how my girlfriend and I broke up.
Okay.
So one day I come into the office, and I've always had a great work ethic. I'm always the first one in the office, last one out. I'll work weekends, and it's just who I am. Like, I take pride in what I do. I put a lot of energy and effort and love into what I do. So to me, it's not work, right? And no matter what I'm doing, it's never work. And so I get into the office. Office hours are like 9 to 5. It's 7:30 in the morning. I'm getting there. I'm setting up my desk. I'm setting up my team. I'm setting up our goals for today. I'm like pumped, excited. It's Monday. I'm like, let's go. Like, we're going to crush it. And the owner's in the building, and he's never there. The only time he shows up is when he shows up, it's like handshakes and handing out bonus checks, and then he bounces in his Ferrari. And so I immediately thought that was weird. But as soon as I walked in, before I put my bag down, he goes, Siloh, I need to talk to you in my office. And I was like, oh, okay. So went to his office. Now here I am. We got the number one team in the office. We're crushing it. We're hitting our goals. My team they're all A players, right? And we're killing it. So I'm thinking, awesome, I'm going to get another promotion. So he brings me into his office. Before my butt hits the seat, he goes, Siloh, I gotta let you go. I was like, what? What do you mean? He goes, I gotta let you go. I go, what do you mean you gotta let me go? He goes, I can't afford you anymore. I was like, what do you mean you can't afford me anymore? He goes, can't do it. Sorry, gotta let you go. And I go, well, what's the issue? He goes, I can't afford you. And to me, my mind immediately now goes into panic mode. I have a young child at home. I pay all the bills. Rent is coming up. I'm already 2 months behind on the car payment because I've been struggling as a dad, struggling to trying to figure things out, make money here, do things ethically and honestly, right? Run my team, make my owner money so he would maybe see my effort and pay me more. But instead, I'm getting the opposite. And so I'm in panic mode. So the first thing that I say is, hey, I got an answer for you. Don't worry about it. If you're paying me too much, give me a pay cut. I'll take it. He goes, nope, can't do that. I go, okay, forget about the pay cut. Just demote me as a manager and put me on the phones and I'll make phone calls with my reps. He goes, can't do that either. I was like, why? He goes, because it'll confuse your team as to why is their manager now on the phones with them and the production on your team will drop. And I was like, all right, I get it. Oh. So he goes, listen, there's nothing you could do. I got to let you go. But what I will do this for all your hard work and effort and everything that you put into this, I will pay you this week. Show up Friday. I'll give you a check. Consider it your last paycheck. Consider it severance pay. But you don't work anymore. You got to go grab your bag and leave before the rest of the employees come in. So I said, okay, I'll take it. Remind you, 2 months behind on the car payment because I'm trying to figure everything out, right? I'm already borderline 30 days behind on rent because I'm still trying to figure things out. I'm not making enough money, right? I'm trying to figure all this transition that's going on in my life. I'm trying to figure it all out and still stay calm, collective, and cool, right? And still meet my responsibilities. So I go, all right, gotcha. I'll take it. I left, right? Went home. Girl showed up. I said, hey, I got fired. Don't worry. I got a paycheck coming on Friday. We'll be able to at least put money towards rent so we can stay here. We can put a little money towards a car. We can put money in the fridge and until I figure things out. Week goes by. Friday arrives. Work ethic. I show up. I'm the first one at the building at 7:30 a.m. waiting for the boss. When I walk up to the building, there's a massive padlock this big on the front door. The owner got kicked out of the building the next day for not paying rent. So I'm sitting there and immediately I'm not getting a paycheck. It's just not happening. So the owner skipped town, never paid the rent on the building. They put a padlock on the door, the property management company. Cool. And people started to show up and they're like, what's going on? How come we can't get in the building? What's this? I was like, I have no idea. They're like, well, I was fired on Tuesday and I was supposed to get a check today. I was like, well, I got fired on Monday. I was supposed to get a check today. And we all start to click in and no one was getting paid. So I went home, told my girl what happened. She said, well, you got to call the landlord and he's not going to like it. So I called the landlord, said, hey man, you're not going to believe what happened. He cuts me off. He goes, hey, listen, you're already 20 days, 30 days behind on rent. He goes, I don't want to hear it. He's like, do you have rent? I was like, yeah, but you don't understand. Like, he goes, do you have rent? No, I don't have it, but let me explain. Listen, if you don't have rent by Monday, I'm kicking you out. So it was Friday. So I did everything I could that weekend. I sold everything in my house that was not nailed down. Couches were gone. TVs were gone. Everything was gone. And by the time Monday came, rent was $950. I had $625. The landlord showed up at 6 a.m. with the police and said, do you have rent? Now, here in Nevada, you can kick somebody out without giving them 30 days notice, especially if they're already 30 days behind on rent. And I go, I've got $625, I said proudly. He goes, that's not rent. And the cop looked over his shoulder, looked at me and goes, you have 15 minutes to grab all your stuff and get out. So I did exactly what the cop said. I went back into the house, told my girl, woke her up. Hey, listen, we got to go. We're getting kicked out. I said, grab our baby, grab whatever you can, diapers, formula, bottles, throw it all in a bag, grab whatever you can. We got to go. And I packed a bag with 3 t-shirts and a pair of jeans. And I did this only after I knew my son was taken care of. Packed all of his stuff. No more than 14 minutes and 59 seconds. Boom, the door gets kicked in. Cops are in my house. They're like, get out, get out, get out. And I got my son in my arm. I got his bag. I got my bag over my shoulder. The girl's behind me, and they're escorting us out of our apartment. So we go downstairs and we sit on we sit by the car on the sidewalk. I have no clue what to do. Zero. No clue whatsoever. At the first time in my life, I have no answers, no direction, no idea what to do. I start to hear things being smashed, like dropped. Now we had an apartment which was on the second floor in our building, and we had a little balcony. And I turn around because it's a nice little distraction for me while I try to figure things out in milliseconds. And when I turn around, I look over my shoulder. It's my couch that was just thrown over the balcony and smashed on the ground by the police.
Gee.
So they basically just started throwing stuff over the balcony. And so I turn to her and I go, listen, I'm no good for you. I have no answers for you. I said, here are the keys to the car. You already know it's 60 days behind car payment. I go, take the keys, take my son, get out of here. And so she did. She took the keys, she took my son, and she went back to her state, which is Idaho, to live with her mom. And this was the reason why we broke up. This, ironically, was the first day I went homeless. So this starts my whole homeless journey, right? I have a bag with 3 t-shirts and a pair of jeans, all to my name. That's it. And so, ironically, the very first day, that moment, because I had nowhere to go. Guess where I went? I went back to my old job. I went back to the building that we all got kicked out of, because it's the only thing I knew. It's the only thing that was familiar to me. And I knew in this building there was like an underground parking garage. In that underground parking garage, I knew if I can find like a crevice somewhere, at least I'd be able to sit there and think what my next move is going to be, how am I going to eat, where am I going to sleep. I needed something secure, something familiar, something safe.
Right.
So I went back to that building, and that's essentially day one of homelessness.
Oh, let's just take a pause there, bro. Wow, this is like watching a movie. For those of you that's here, if you could use the pin post to chat, because I can't, so we can still answer the questions after this live call finishes. That's deep. I mean, your wife, no, was it your wife or your girlfriend at the time?
Girlfriend. Yeah,
Girlfriend.
girlfriend.
She didn't think twice to not go with you. She left you and took your son.
I didn't really give her a chance. Right. I just said, here, take this and go. Just go. She wanted to stay, but I wouldn't let her. You have to understand, this moment was probably the deepest failure I've ever felt in my entire life.
Yeah.
It even still hurts today.
I can feel the
Right.
pain, man. I was like, this mess that, and the thing is that they didn't even accept that you had near enough some majority of the money, man.
Yeah, he didn't even take it. I gave it to my girl. I was like, here, take it all. You're gonna need gas money. You're gonna need to serve. You're gonna need something for our son. It's a 12-hour car ride. Take the cash.
So you're now
So,
just there with nothing, no money, just a few bags on you, and you're just literally now day one homeless.
yeah,
And this is the
that's it.
times when you never had a mobile phone, no way of communication.
I did have a phone, but of course, that bill wasn't paid.
Oh,
So, yeah, it is what it is. So I went back to the building, and I basically lived there outside in the streets where I could find shelter. Shelter was safety, where if I could find a dumpster to sleep behind, because it at least provided me some type of safety, I'd sleep behind the dumpster. When I got hungry, I would dive into dumpsters, and I would find food that other people took 3 bites of and threw it away because it got full. And to me, that was like a whole meal, right? So I ate leftover pizza, I ate leftover hot dogs, I ate whatever was in the garbage I can eat that wasn't covered in ants and roaches. And I
Jesus.
did this
Ooh.
simply because that's what you do when you're surviving. Like this is bottom level life survival. This is eat or die, right?
So was you just staying in that same area? You wasn't moving around? You didn't go to no supermarkets, no store to just take some fresh food? You just your mindset, like, what's going on in your head at the moment? When was it the point where you felt, I'm just gonna eat the food that's here that's been eaten?
Yeah, I didn't want to steal. Believe it or not, I still had morals. Don't ask me why. I just it went against my values,
I
which we're going to
mean,
get into as well.
I
I
mean,
just
I've,
couldn't do
I've,
it.
because I've been homeless, as you know, and I've shared this with you. I don't know, everyone knows that, about 5 times homeless, and there's not one time that I could ever feel the need to eat garbage. I had to, for me, I had to just thought, you know what? I don't care what anyone thinks. I'm just gonna go take what I need. I'm gonna take some fruit. I'm gonna take some veg, not veg because of how you cooking the veg, but some fruit, some bread,
Yeah.
some drink, and just have just enough for me to survive. Not like what the people think when you're homeless, you're gonna steal the alcohol, and all that stuff. Because that was something I would never go through. I wanted to be remembering every time not to get back in that position again, but yet 5 times because it's like a cycle. It's like it pulls you back. So what was going in your mind to just think like your morals was like, I'm not eating, I'm not stealing, I'm just gonna eat this, what's here. How how long did you go without eating first? Because I don't believe you just went straight in the bin and started eating.
No, no, yeah. I mean, that was like that decision was not easy, right? And for at that point, I'd gone 3 days without eating, and so at that point, like you could start to feel your body start to shut down. Like you start to
Oh
get
yeah.
really, really weak.
Mm,
You're struggling just to stay awake because staying awake takes energy. And so at that point, it was just like I got to eat whatever I can get my hands on. And I started digging into garbage cans first, and I would get lucky. And I started digging into like other stuff, and then I was just like, the gold mine for me is to find a dumpster of food that's been thrown away. So I started hanging out behind grocery stores, restaurants, right, and I would dive into their dumpsters, and that's how I'd get my meal. And then I would I would find a slice of pizza, and then I would eat 3 bites out of it and put the rest in a bag. And then when I got hungry, I would take another 3 bites. And then when I got hungry, I'd take another 3 bites. So that one slice of pizza would last me a day. Right.
yeah.
And one of the smartest things that I did, because I do want to start to kind of turn this around because I could feel the
Yeah, because it's
energy.
like, because oh my gosh, of
Okay.
course.
So
I mean,
let's
it's this like the mindset to be like, I'm not gonna die. I need to eat. So that's why I was asking you those questions. So I was just thinking, what goes in the mind? Because I know from my own personal experience, when I was hungry, it was like I had to this. Like I was like, I've got no choice. I've got no money on me. I can't find any food. I wasn't in a position where there was loads of restaurants to be eating from, not ones that I would want to be eating from. There's rats in there and everything. And they usually pour stuff over the bins. They obviously don't do that in America. So that you can't eat the stuff. They make sure they pour bleach and soap and you
yeah,
know what
they
I mean? It's
started doing
not
that here. Yeah.
not
At
edible
the
because there's
time
a lot of viral
yeah.
videos going around with people diving in bins. So I can understand it must have been like a buffet at that point.
Yeah, so the one of I did a lot of smart things coming out of homelessness, right? So I want to kind of that was the bottom, right? So let's kind of like walk our ways out of this. So
So
there's a
how did
lot
we
of
get
things that
out? How do we get out? Is
yeah,
that where we're going now? Is
that's where
how
we're
we got
going
because
now.
I'm thinking, how does the mind what was it in your mind when it was the clicking point that you was like, "No, this is not my life." What was that point? What can you remember that point when you was this click, "I'm not doing this."
Yep, we're getting to that. So
Good. Okay.
there's a few smart things, and part of the reason why I didn't steal is because for some reason I kept hearing my grandfather in my ear, my role model, going, "Don't do it. It's not worth it. Don't do it." Right. So I never did it. But one of the smartest things that I did do was I'm now 6 months, 6.5 months in of living on the streets every single day. I'm wearing the same shirt for almost 210 days in a row. I'm wearing the same pair of pants for almost 210 days in a row. The same socks for
Mm,
210 days in a row.
mm.
Okay. So you can imagine what I looked like,
Oh gosh,
right?
yeah.
Shirt torn, dirty, ripped, Sure, I don't smell too good. I haven't showered in 210 days either. Right. One of the smartest things that I did though was I used to hang out, quote unquote. I used to hang out at this 7-Eleven, which is kind of like your corner store, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if you have them in the UK, but I'm pretty sure you do because they're a global brand, right?
Yeah, yeah, we
So
do. We did.
so I used to hang out, ironically, next to a garbage can by the 7-Eleven. The reason I started hanging out there is because people would come out and they would see me and they would give me food or they'd throw something away. And then I had immediate access to food. Right. And so I would hang out by the 7-Eleven. And what I noticed very quickly was that people who drove sports cars, especially if they were low to the ground, were like my meal ticket. And here's why. They would pull up into 7-Eleven, right? Sports car, low to the ground. And
Yeah.
then if they had any change in their pockets getting out of their sports car that's been lowered to the ground, what would happen? It falls out.
Oh.
And so the change would fall out of their pockets and they could care less about it. It's just a few nickels, dimes, quarters, pennies, whatever. They would go inside. They would get their whatever they came in for. They would get back in their car, and they got back in their car, more change would fall out. And they wouldn't mind picking it up because they're in their very fancy sports car, right? They would get in, they close the door, and they take off. The second they would take off, I would make a beeline for that change. I would go a beeline for that change, and I would scoop it all up. I was like, oh, 10 cents, 15 cents. Here we go,
Yeah,
20 cents,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
And I just started collecting all this change. And then it got to the point where I was just watching for people with sports cars that are lowered to the ground, pull up to 7-Eleven. I'm like, yeah, here we go. Here we go. Please tell me you got some change in those pockets. Let's go. And yep, I would get lucky. 2 out of every 10 cars, maybe they'd show up, change, drop out of their pockets. I would make a beeline, I'd scoop up all that change. And as soon as I got a few bucks, I would go and I'd buy something to eat. As soon as I got a few bucks, I'd go and treat myself to a bottle of Gatorade. Right. And this helped me kind of get back into the mindset of being back in society because now I'm exchanging dollars for a good. Now I'm exchanging dollars for something to eat. And this kept me sane. This kept me like, oh, I am a real person. I can do these things. Right. And going through homelessness itself, people ask all the time, what's the worst part about being homeless? And I would tell them all the time, the worst part about being homeless is not having a place to go at the end of the day. It's
course,
not having the ability to interact with others. It's what's the worst part about being homeless is how other people treat you while you're homeless. Right.
Oh gosh, yeah.
So it's the person that sees you when you're at the stoplight holding your sign that says, I need help. And they roll up their window, they pick up their phone, they turn the radio all the way up so they don't have to acknowledge that you're there. Right.
Yeah.
When you're homeless, you see all this and it impacts you. So it's the, hey, bum, go get a job. Hey, alcoholic, is that how you got homeless? Hey, drug addict, I'm not giving you any money. I'm like, bro, I've never fucking done drugs. I don't drink. I'm out here because I lost my job and my son and my girlfriend and my apartment. Right? That's the worst part about being homeless. So
Gosh.
what I did was to get back into society is I started like keeping change and I started buying stuff. Right. And so I'm hanging out at this 7-Eleven and I'm hanging out there and hanging out, quote unquote, just scooping change. And this guy out of nowhere comes up to me one day as I'm standing next to the garbage can. And he just goes, hey, man. I look around like, who the hell is this guy talking to? Right? And he's like, hey, man. I'm like, hey. Granted, it's been 210 days since someone's even called my name.
He knew your
Since
name?
I've ever. No, you're homeless. Nobody goes, hey, Siloh, I see you're homeless. 210 days, no one called my name. No one looked in my direction. No one said hi to me. I had no communication with another human being for 200 days. And all of a sudden, this guy walks up and goes, hey. So I'm like, what the heck? I'm looking around like, what the heck? This guy, who are you talking to? He goes, I'm talking to you. I'm like, what do you want? Because I got my defenses fully up. I've been sleeping on the streets. I don't know if he's here to rob me. Like, I got nothing. And I'm thinking he's going to rob me. Right. Like, that was the mentality. The mentality is like, get away from me. Like, get away from me. Right. People not being around me kept me safe. Get away from me. And so he goes, hey, man, he goes, what's up? I was like, get away from me. I don't want to talk to you. Whoa, who are you talking to? I looked like that crazy guy, the crazy homeless guy. Right. So he leaves. The next day he comes back, same time. He's like, hey, man. I'm like, bro, I told you to leave me alone. He leaves, comes back the next day, leaves, comes back. He kept coming back.
It's a crazy.
So eventually
Siloh,
I was
dead,
like,
all bushy and everything.
everything, bushy, everything. And I'm like, all right. So eventually he kept coming around. So eventually I was like, all right, bro, what do you want? If you just tell me what you want, and then you can leave, and I can, I don't have to see you again. He goes, I'm not, man. Just want to come by and see how you're doing. Just want to say hi. He's like, his name was Eric. He's like, my name's Eric. And he extended his hand to shake my hand, which is a very weird moment for me because I haven't shook someone's hand in 200 days. And I kind of hesitantly reached out my hand and was like, I'm Siloh. And from then on, he came around every single day and we just talked. He never bought me food, never gave me a single dollar. But what he gave me was more important. He gave me a shoulder to cry on, an ear to listen to, for me to speak all my woes and sorrows. And he gave me faith and belief in humanity again, which then in return gave me faith and belief in myself. So he would come by over time and go, Siloh, you're going to be a big deal one day. Still homeless. Siloh, people are going to know your name, Siloh, one day. Still homeless. Siloh, trust me, you're going to make an impact. You're going to make an impact in a lot of people's lives. Trust me, you will do it. And eventually, I started to believe him.
Wow.
And then so when I started to believe him, that's when things clicked. Because now I'm asking different questions in my mind. I mean, what if he's right is a question. What if I can get out of this is the question. If I could get out of this, what do I need to do next is the question. And as I started to think that way, I started to act in that way. And as I started to act that way, things started to change. And I started to get back on my feet again. Now, there's a whole story there of a transitional phase, which was kind of like my bridge. I didn't immediately get back on my feet. No, I had built life from the ground up all over again. And, there's a story there. I'm still homeless at the time. This guy is Eric. He's coming by every day. He goes, Siloh, what's the next step? What are you going to do next? What's the next step? What are you doing? Come on, now. What's the next step? I'm like, I don't know. I guess I got to go on job interviews. He goes, cool. He's like, I'm going to take you to those job interviews. Meanwhile, still wearing the same shirt 210 days in. Beard blown out, haven't showered. But I'm going on job interviews. That's exactly what I did. And so I went on about 49 different job interviews and heard no in 49 different ways. They were like, no, we're not hiring. But you got an ad. I saw the ad. It says you're hiring. No, we're not hiring. Not you. Okay. Nope. We just hired someone who just walked in. Sorry. Position's not available anymore. But the ad's still up. Yeah, we're about to take it down. Right.
Bear
So I
in
heard
mind you haven't bathed yet.
and I haven't bathed. Right. So the 50th interview I went on, I got hired. And the funny thing about this is
50th interview. Wow.
yes, 50 interviews. Most people in their right mind would have gave up on interview number 2 or 3. But I was not in my right mind. I was determined to get out of my spot. I was determined to get out of homelessness. I was determined to get back on my feet. I was determined to win. I was determined to make an impact. I was determined for people to call my name again. I was determined. And so the 50th interview, and before I say how I got hired, so part of those interviews that I would go on, They were for professional jobs. I'm walking in homeless, right? And therefore, I would walk in the lobby. There'd be people, guys sitting in seats and suits and shirts and ties on. And here I come walking in like all disheveled. Like, I'm here for the job. And the receptionist would come running out from behind her desk, like immediately, as soon as we caught eyes. She'd go, "You can't come in here." I'm like, "What? What do you mean?" Because yeah, you can't come in here. Like, what do you mean I can't come in here? I'm here for the job. Yeah, sure you are. You can't come in here. Right.
Well, you
So
must have smelled though, so I'm not surprised.
yeah, I did terribly. So the 50th interview, I got super lucky. I walked into essentially this building. The office was on the second floor, right? And I was there for a call center position to be on the phones, right? And so I walk in, and as soon as I opened the front door to the office, no receptionist. I was like,
What?
yes, no
Oh wow.
receptionist.
Okay.
And I walked in and it was their bullpen. I literally walked into their customer service and sales floor. And so when I walked in, everyone's on the phones. They're like, yeah, we're going to do this and we're going to do that. And they all start to go like this. We're going to. Everyone looks over like, what the heck is this guy doing here? They're like, crap, we got a homeless dude in our office, right? And and then this the owner of the company has an office way back far right, glass. He's got glass petition up, and he sees me, and he sees his floor automatically stop talking, and everyone's looking in my direction. In his mind, he's like, "Oh shit, we got a problem." So he comes out from behind his desk and walks up to me and goes, "Hey man, what's going on? Like, do you need something? Are you all right?" I go, "Yeah." I go, "I'm Siloh." And he pauses, goes, "Wait, Siloh? Like my 1:30 appointment, Siloh?" I was like, "Yeah, man, that's me." And he looked me up and down and he goes, "Fuck it. All right, come on in." and, he, and he brought me into his office. We went through the like
Right.
interview phase, which was all BS anyway, right? And he goes, "All right, cool. I'm gonna hire you. You start Monday." And I was like, "Yes." And he's like, "I'm gonna give you a desk." He's like, "I'm gonna give you a cubicle, but obviously, like, I'm gonna have to put you in another room. I'm sure you understand." I was like, "Yeah, I don't care. Put me in a closet. Like, I don't care. I don't care where you put me." Right? And he was like, "All right, cool." Now the job didn't come with a salary. It was commission only, right? So it's
Oh,
like he wasn't losing anything. So it was like, hey, if you sell, congratulations. If you don't, I'm not risking anything, right? I mean, I put you in a closet so no one knows you're even here, right? But for me, I didn't care. For me, it wasn't about the money. It was the opportunity. I finally got my break. I got my
damn.
opportunity, right?
Yeah.
I did not care if there was no money involved. So work ethic immediately kicked in. I made sure I was the first person in the office and the last one out. Part of that is because I didn't want anybody else to know I was there, and I didn't want them, you know what I mean? I wanted to kind of hide whatever. But work ethic kicked in. First one in the office, last one out. Worked Monday through Saturday. No one would show up on Saturdays, but the boss would leave a key under the mat. He's like, "Hey, if you want to work Saturdays, you can work Saturdays." Cool. He's like, "You can't sleep here." I was like, "No, I don't want to sleep here. I just want to come here and make money." He's like, "All right, cool." And I would go in on Saturdays and I would make money. In 30 days, I was a number one rep in our office in 30 days. And in 60 days to 90 days, I was number one rep in the company.
Can I
I'll
ask
be
you a quick
people who was
question?
there 8 years.
Oh, wow. Did you ever sleep in the office, even though you said you wouldn't?
No, I didn't. I didn't. Yeah, I didn't.
Wow,
Um,
congratulations. That is a story and a half. So where was you sleeping? Or did you have a roof over your head or not yet?
no, so going back to Eric, Eric gave me a place to sleep in his office.
Oh,
So he had his own company. His company had fell apart. Him and his partner broke up. They still had a lease on an office that was unused. And he was just like, "Here, man, you want to sleep in my office? You can. There's no bed. It's not comfortable at all. There's no furniture." He's like, "But at least you have a roof over your head. You got
some
some
security.
protection. You got some
Mm,
security." I was like, "Cool, I'll take it. I didn't care. I'll take it." Right.
what a story.
So yeah, and then so that was the beginning of the beginning. And so I just worked my butt off, saved every single penny I got. I would take the money, and then I eventually rented a room in someone's house. I was walking back and forth to work. I got out of Eric's office. I rented a room in someone's house. I saved up enough money. I bought a bus pass so I didn't have to walk 2 miles a day. And then I saved enough money. I bought a nice little moped, and then I saved up some money. And then I finally bought a car, and I saved up some money. I finally got my own apartment, and that's how I rebuilt everything.
And how long did that take to do? What's the
Took me
process?
about a year and a half, year and a half,
Oh,
right?
that's
From
it.
going from, homeless to having my own apartment again, right? And so that was a journey. Now, when I got back on my feet, and this is where it comes into what I do today, right? So when I got back on my feet, and back on my feet means I had a roof over my head in the room I was renting. I had a roof over my head. I had security. I had a door I could lock and unlock at any time. I had a little bit of food in the fridge. I had my job. I had my moped, right? Like going to work and stuff, right? So I was the king of the hill. I was like, hell yeah, this is awesome. Right? I didn't have nothing compared to the normal person, but to me, I had everything.
Yeah.
And so um, I saw a post on Facebook from a friend of mine who a random post. I've never ever seen her posts, and I was out. It was like a Sunday. I was just like online, and she said, "Hey, I'm." It was a random post. I'm going down. And I'm going to go serve the homeless. I was like, "You got my attention. I'm in." I immediately sent her a DM. I'm like, "Where is it? Where are you going? What time?" I was all over her. She was like, "Calm down, Siloh." I was like, "No, I need to know. I need to know." And she was like, well, I'm going down here and we meet up at this time. And it's just neighbors, who bring down extra food to serve. It's nothing special. It's nothing crazy, blah, blah. It's not organized. You just show up and serve. And I was like, all right, awesome. I'll be there. Went to my kitchen. I saw I had like a single box of spaghetti left because that's all the food I had for the week. I said, fuck it. I'm going to cook up this pot of spaghetti. I'm going to go down and serve some people. And so I cooked up that pot of spaghetti. I went down and served that night, and that pot of spaghetti served 30 people who were less fortunate at that time. And then what I did is I went home, I worked my ass off, got paid, bought more spaghetti. The following Monday, I went back and served again. And this time I served 60 people.
Wow.
And then all I did was I went to work the next day and told somebody what I did. And the following Monday, when I went to serve, they came with me. And
Nice.
then we went to work. They told somebody what we did. The following Monday, they brought somebody back with them. And we all started to serve. That serving, that single pot of spaghetti, has now turned into a massive organization. I've got 800 full-time volunteers. I've got 49 people working for me admin-wise in some kind of admin position in the company, in the organization. We teamed up with Starbucks, Einstein Bagels, Coca-Cola, Dasani Water. These are all our corporate sponsors as of today. And we've served over 176,000 meals for free.
That is serious. Wow. When I read your bio, I was blown away. I was like, I'm just grateful. I was like, is this guy even going to give an interview? Because sometimes when people get to this position, they do the charity work, but to get hold of them, I mean, there's some other names I ain't even going to mention right now. I can't even get hold of in the UK. And I believe, in my way, I see you. You're way 10x way ahead of them in what they do. So to get you on the interview, the fact shows how humble you are to share your story. It's got me all really fired up. You know what I mean? It's just like, wow, that is a powerful story. And I'm so grateful to be connected with you, man. So grateful for
Thank
you
you.
to make the time
Thank
to
you.
share your story. It's even going to compel me to push it even more than I usually push any story because of the fact of the whole wow. I mean, the thing that stuck in my head is the how you felt when you was brushing your bed, because I remember when my bed was so full when I was homeless, and it was horrible and itchy. So I'm just thinking that experience of just feeling like a new man, like, you know what I mean? Just those
Yeah.
memories, they never go away, you know? But
No.
that is an accomplishment. And then you're there feeding 168,000,
Uh,
170,000?
Yeah, 176,000 meals. We do this completely independent of any major charity or organization. We are a standalone nonprofit charity work that we do. We're just people serving people. That's all it is. We're people serving our brothers and sisters, right?
Love it.
Um, and everything that we serve comes from our own kitchens. So it's like leftover cans of beans, right? Stuff like that. All the hygiene that we give out comes from our own bathrooms. All the clothing we give away comes from our own personal closets. And that's what we serve with, right? And we do this every single week. And I also do big events 3 times a year where we, for an entire day, will serve with food, clothing, hygiene, haircuts, hugs, love. We'll
Hugs
serve close to
important.
6,000 meals in a single day. And we usually do this on like a Thanksgiving Day or a Christmas Day.
Wow.
Yep. So it's in my blood. It's what I am now. It's what I do. And again, this goes back to all the way back to your first question. And I told you I'd bring it full circle, where
You
it
surely did bring it
was,
full circle.
it is, it is taking care of others. It is having a mission. It's having a vision, doing it in an ethical way, and being moral about it. And you succeed. And you can succeed at levels you never thought was possible. If Eric would have walked up to me at that 7-Eleven next to that trash can and goes, one day you're going to be working with Starbucks, I'd be like, now who's the crazy one? Right? They're like, you're crazy, buddy. You need to get away from me. Right?
Yeah, and you wouldn't even chat to him. You'd be like, nope. So Leanne's got to love them random posts. Whoa, look at the ripple effect, dude. Explanation mark, explanation mark. People serving people crazy good. Talk about letting your pain be your superpower. Facts.
Facts,
That's
for sure. For sure. And that goes back to our pre-interview video that we did, right? So, yes, my story is very unique, right? It is. And I own it 100%, which is why I love doing interviews like this. Because what I found is that even though my story is unique, call them today earthquakes and tremors. We kind of went over this, right?
yes.
My story is unique to me, but everyone at some point in their life has come across either an earthquake or a tremor. Now, the tremors are defined as things that kind of shake you a little bit. They kind of throw you off course. It's the breakup of a loved one, right? It is the loss of a job, right? Those are the tremors. The earthquakes are the things that shock you to your core. It's the loss of a loved one who died unexpectedly. It is the loved one who's now battling an addiction that you have to get them through, right? Everyone has their tremors. Everyone has at some point in their life gone through their own earthquakes. The only difference is what have you done to make the world a better place because of it? So when you're able to get to that conversation in your life, in your mind, that's when the whole arc comes around. People always say, "Oh, Siloh, you've gone from hero, homeless to hero. You've done it." I said, "No, all I did was make a decision. The story is irrelevant. I was shook by an earthquake, and I said, I'm going to make this happen because of that earthquake, and I'm going to make sure it benefits other people." And having that mission and that vision pulled me through all the bullshit I had to go through to get there, because the vision was bigger than myself. The vision was bigger than myself, right?
It's
And so,
powerful.
I would say, for anyone who's listening, I know we've got people here. I can see the hearts. Oh, thank you. I can see the hearts. Thank you. So, I would say, in order for us to really have that journey, because all of us have it within us, is to really look at your story and just really look at it, because we all have a story. Just look at it and be like, how can I make this story something that impacts someone else's life positively? How can I take what I've gone through and make sure it doesn't happen to someone else? Today when we serve, yes, the number is grand. We served 176,000 meals. Most likely by the end of the year, we'll be closer to 300,000 meals. Yeah, that's all fun stuff, right? Really, what it comes down to is I'm out there serving every single Monday, looking for the next Siloh.
That's
I'm paying
powerful.
it forward from what Eric did for me. That's all I'm doing. I just use food, clothing, hygiene, and haircuts to find the next Siloh.
Have you found the next Siloh?
Oh, yeah. We've got like 12 people we've helped kind of transition off in the streets, and they've got, they got birth certificates, they got bank accounts, they got driver's license, they have got cars now, they started families or having kids, and yeah,
Awesome. It'd
it's
be
great
great to
stuff.
get one of them on the interview if they even want to be. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
love sharing stories, man. I love sharing stories. It's probably this is powerful, and I love the fact what you're saying. When you've been through a break, like when you've been through an earthquake, as you said, a shock, it really does push you to want more from your life. This is what's got me from when I first started going live last year on TikTok, mm, like for hours, just pouring out all of my knowledge. Because I said, if I ever, God, if I ever get the one more break again, I'm never gonna hold back on all of what I know about making money online. I'll just share it for free, and that's what was doing. This that every single day. Just forgetting about the roof over my head because I don't like where I'm living, but just to have a starting point where I can just keep on helping in some kind of way. And I was teaching people how to go live like a pro, just to give them the confidence. Because once you can get on camera and you can talk like this and you share your story, it just elevates, and you just don't know who's listening, who's watching. So your story is so compelling, and the fact is, from what I've been getting from you, is when you're out there and you're feeding the homeless, you're there not just feeding them, but you're actually involved with them. You're asking them questions, you're talking to them, you're getting to know their story. Because when I was on the street, everyone had a story, and a lot of them, some of them were like had money, some of them claimed they were millionaires. But life happened. They had an earthquake or a tremor. Some of them, sometimes a tremor can send someone off on a spiral. But some
Mhm.
of them were like crazy and they're talking to to teddy bears and stuff. It's a whole nother world at nighttime or just being homeless. So the mindset, the way you was at, and the fact of you was homeless and you hadn't bathed for over 200 and something days, you was counting the days, and then you went into the office and got yourself a job after 50 attempts, because it's a no, 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 so many no's, to just get yourself past there and then just to get yourself in the office and just to be working non-stop, not taking advantage of anything, and just building yourself up to where you are now is amazing, man. It's like, do you believe in God? Like, what was driving you? What was keeping you going? Because I haven't heard you once mention family. This sounded like you was all on your own throughout the whole entire time. So what was driving you? What was pushing you forward? What was your why? What does your routine look like?
Yeah, so great question. I knew what I was going through is I deep in my core, I knew whatever I was going through in the moment while I was going through it, that I did not want to stay there. I was like, I'm not staying here. This is not going to be the end of Silo. This is not going to be like my permanent story. Being homeless, like it's not it. Like I refuse to believe that. And so even as I was going through homelessness, the smartest things I said, there's a few things I did smart. Another thing that I did smart was if I met someone who was homeless at the time with me, we're both on the streets and we strike up a conversation, which rarely happened. But if I did, let's say, um, and they were like, "Hey, I know a place where you can get soup on Thursdays. Hey, I know a place where you can get a cot on a Friday. Hey, I know a place where you can get a sandwich on a Saturday." And if I fell into that loop, I'd probably still be homeless today.
Yeah,
I didn't want to get accustomed to being homeless. I was like, no, this is temporary. This is only temporary. It's only still eating out of garbage cans. It's fucking temporary. It is temporary. This is not me. Right. And so, one of the smartest things I ever did was if the homeless community was going left to find those sandwiches, those cots, and that soup, I went right. Wherever they went, I went the opposite direction. They're like, we're going downtown. We heard their services down there to give out free soda. Yeah, see you guys. I'm going this way.
you were just avoiding it all the time.
I just avoided it 100%. I didn't want it to be a permanent thing. If it was going to be temporary, I had to put everything on my shoulders.
I get you. So you didn't want to take the help at that time there. You knew there was help available, but you didn't want it to become a regular routine when you was adapting to being homeless, that you was making it become yours. Totally understand what you're saying, because that is the one
Yeah.
thing. If you start believing it, you start making it a routine. Actually, funny enough that you're saying that, there was one time I was live, and I know some people may have taken it controversial, but someone said to me they were homeless at the time they were joining my live, and I said to them, "Well, if you're allowing if you've got a cardboard box, then you're homeless and you're allowing it to be your home and you're building it up and you're making it all nice and comfortable, you're setting yourself up and accepting
Yeah.
you're homeless. You're accepting it. You know what I mean? And
Yep.
that's for me. One thing I avoided doing was sleeping. I just kept myself on the move. You know, but there are times when you're so tired, you have to find yourself a spot because you cannot do
Yep.
no more. And you've got to find yourself lying down somewhere, whether you want to or not, whether it's a bus, a train, a chair, or inside of the local restaurant, which would sometimes I would do, or just fall asleep on the table and they would tell you it's time to go now. You have to go out. You've got to go. You know what I mean? And then you don't even know if you smell. Well, I probably did smell actually, most likely, because I wasn't getting to bathe as regularly as I would like to. You know what I mean? And the most
Yeah.
bathing was like in a little tap, and you just splash a little bit of water here, splash a little bit of water there. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Try to brush your teeth really quickly, and then people's wondering why you're stuck in the toilet still, like you got the runs or something. You know, it's not the it's a whole different experience. You know, I commend you for
Yeah.
this having this one time you was homeless.
So I've got all right. So here's what I want to do, and I'll stick around as long as you guys want. I'll be here for another 30 minutes if you want, but I did promise that we're going to make this interactive and engaging. So here's what I'm
Yes,
going to do
yes.
for everyone who's here. At the very beginning of the call, we said grab a pen and paper. So I want to make sure everyone's got pen and paper first. So if you
Th-
got
th-
pen and paper, thumbs up emoji, just so I know you've got pen and paper and you're ready to get going.
Just to share one thing, there's been some sharing going on that I've never had before when I do a podcast. They've been not sh they've been sharing, they've been chatting in the chat. Some of the chats I can't see, so at the same time, so I say use the post thread on Born Leader. But Angela's been sharing in other communities. Leanne shared in her community we're live and gave the live link. There's even a screenshot of you smiling on the screenshot in her community that she shared, Leanne shared. I've never seen anyone while we're live sharing in the way that they've been sharing, or even the emojis that Naranda's been doing, and really just being so part of this. Clearly, you've made an impact.
Thank
You
you.
made a deep impact for me, man. You know what I mean? So, wow.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone on the call. Thank you for sharing. And thank you for sticking around because we've been on this call
Yeah.
for a little while now. So, yeah, I appreciate all of you. Thank you so much. So, here's going to be my gift to you, right? Because that's what I am. I'm a giver. I want to make sure you guys get the most out of this as possible, right? So, there's two things I'm going to do for you. First thing we're going to do is we're going to go through a little bit of exercise, okay? And this exercise is going to be truly impactful for you because it was impactful for me. Now, when I was homeless and I had Eric's office, right? So I had a little roof over my head and I had a door I can unlock and I got some security. The smartest thing that I did was this again, this office was vacant, it was abandoned, no furniture, nothing. But there was pen and pad in this office that I found in a corner. And the smartest thing I started to do was journal. And I
Oh,
started to journal about what I was going through.
wow.
I would journal about everything I experienced that day. And at night, I would journal in it again about what I want to experience the next day. So I would write out what I want. I'd be like, today, I want someone to call my name. Today, I want someone to look in my direction. Today, I want someone to notice me. Right. And over time, these things started to happen. It's crazy. Like the universe just started, people just started looking my way and waving. I was like, oh, where'd that come from? and so here's my first gift to you. If it's cool with Andrew, we'll figure out how to get it over to you. But here's my first gift. That journal that I wrote, I turned into a book. And that book
Okay.
is now available today on Amazon.
Wow.
So if you want the truly raw story of my experience, I left nothing out. My book is on Amazon. You can get it today. What I will do though, with Andrew, we'll figure it out. Maybe I'll give out a few free copies, but we got to figure out some way to give it to people and figure out what that looks like, right?
Cool, cool.
Um, okay. And number two, so that's my first gift to you guys for being here. So again, thank you for the platform, Andrew. Thank you for everyone who's been sharing, everyone who's on this call. That's my gift to you, right? I want to give you my book, so and give you my story. You can sit down, you can read it. I've got people. Keep in mind, it's a thick. It's pretty thick. It was my whole journal, right? So it's thick.
Thank you for the time. Thank you for the time for being here, making the time. Because for those of you that don't know, he's got a busy schedule. He's going to be doing a lot
Yeah,
of masterminds throughout the week. He's going to be 8 hours straight each
yeah,
day. So for him to just dedicate his time is awesome. Like I was like, thank you so much, man.
Yeah,
Appreciate
absolutely. All right, so that's my first gift to you guys. Is you guys get my book. So get with Andrew. We'll figure out how to get it to you. But for those and it, maybe we should do
Well,
something where the
Angela and
person who
Randa, they're in America. So Leanne's in
yeah,
Australia. So yeah, they're already local to you. They're probably
awesome.
your
There we
neighbors.
go. Yeah, we'll figure it out. We'll figure out how to get to you guys. Maybe we'll put something to reward you guys for sharing this in your communities. Maybe like that's how we'll kind of see like who gets a book, etc. I want to make sure everyone gets a book, but we want to make sure that we have a system to deliver it, right? And reward those who've been hanging out here and sharing the story, right? Sharing my story. All right, so that's gift number one. Gift number two, here's where we get interactive. So if you've noticed all the way up to this point, you've heard my entire story, right? So if you figured out this entire way, a lot of the reasons why I do things and don't do things is because I have a very strong moral compass. And that very strong moral compass is based on my values, right? I have very, very strong values. And I went through an exercise for me to be able to find out what these values are. Now, what's crazy in a very good way is when you're able to identify these values, everything that you do in life, you can almost follow the breadcrumbs back to that value. And you go, that's why I did that. That's why I don't do that. Because if you don't do it, for some reason, it's incongruent with what you value. Now, I'm not talking about value like in house and car. No, 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 no. I'm talking about getting to the true values of everything that you do. So I'm going to give you an exercise right now. We're going to do this live. And what we're going to do is we're going to find out what your values are. Now, once we get there, it's exceptional because everything you do from that point on is always going to be aligned with your values, whether it's how you speak to people, how you greet people, the friends you make, the relationships you get into, the jobs you take, the communities that you build. It's all going to be based around these three core values. And it's good. And you've heard me say the reason why I do doesn't feel like work is because it's aligned with my value. Right. So let's go ahead and get into the exercise. All right. So on your piece of paper, you're going to need a big piece of paper, like big piece, right? Not a napkin, like a big piece. Okay. On this big piece of paper, there we go. Miranda's got hers. Awesome. Andrew's got his. All right. Awesome. So on this big piece of paper and with your pen, what I want you to do is I want you to draw a large capital T. So this large capital T should take up a good portion of that paper, not a small capital T. Okay, let's go big. Let's go big. Big capital T on that piece of paper. Okay. Once you've drawn that capital T, just raise your pen so I know you're done. Okay, Miranda's done. All right, Angela's done. Andrew's done. All right, awesome, cool. And Leanne's done. Leanne's still here. Leanne's like, I gotta go. So that was like an hour ago. Leanne, good to see you still here. All right, awesome. Now, here's what I want you to do. On the left-hand side of that capital T, what I want you to do is I want you to write down everything in life that leads experiences that leave a horrible taste in your mouth, just a bad taste every time you think about it. Okay, now I'm going to give you a few examples, but I don't want you to steal these examples. These must be your examples. You could say, I don't like pushy people. I don't like people who judge, right? That's what we're looking for here. Just the stuff that leaves an absolute terrible taste in your mouth. And if you write out 20 of them, awesome, keep going. And I'm going to give you 2 to 3 minutes to just bullet point those things that just leave a terrible taste in your mouth, even just thinking about it. Go ahead and get started. Give me 2 minutes.
The first bit of silence I've actually
Yeah.
judgment.
And make them super specific. Super specific. I mean, just pisses you off just thinking about it.
Well, I'm doing really. I've only done three. Can't really. Mm.
You want to think of the things that other people do, right? That just for some reason, we want to think of like characteristics that you cannot stand.
I don't know. I feel like I've just switched off now. I've got to the point where I've literally switched off. I got three, but they're like umbrellas.
Okay, go for it. Tell me what you got.
Judgmental,
Hmm.
negative, and
Hmm.
unsupportive.
Unsupportive. Awesome. Keep going. There's more to that. Do you like angry people? Do you like
I
people
usually
who
love
intend?
angry people because I like to bring them back down from being angry.
Do you like people who intentionally start fights? Do you like violent people?
Okay. Okay, I see. No, okay, okay. I see. So abusive.
Right. Okay, I'll give you guys another 30 seconds. You guys are writing a lot of stuff down. I see heads just looking down.
Oh yeah, they going full in. They're going full
I
swing.
love it. Yeah, I
I
love
got
it.
one. I got what? Six now.
All right, 10 more seconds.
I'm sure this is the first time I've ever been silent on the Born Leader podcast ever since 2019. This is
Okay.
the first silence. I don't think I've got any more. I think yeah, I probably would have had more back in the day.
All right, I think we're good. All right, pens down. And I apologize, I can't see the chat. So if you want to come off of mute and kind of give some answers, I'll call you by name. I just can't see the chat. So we'll start with Andrew. So, Andrew, on the left-hand side of that capital T, what are the things that leave an absolute terrible taste in your mouth? Just give me two of them.
Two of them. Okay, people that don't listen and people that are aggressive.
People who don't listen and people who are aggressive.
Yep.
Okay, great. Narenda, you're next. What two? What two things can you point out immediately, top of mind, right now, piss you off? Just thinking about it.
People that are physically violent and pedophiles.
Oh yeah. Violent and pedophiles. Wow. Oh, nice.
Probably would
Okay,
have written
awesome.
that if I knew how to spell it.
So, okay, so awesome. Thank you, Narenda. Leanne, you're next. Quick, top of mind, two things.
I don't like people that draw attention to themselves above somebody else. So they'll put other people, like push other people aside to go, look at me, look how great I am.
Oh,
I don't like that. And oh my gosh, poverty. Like I guess that's not really an attitude, but that mindset of I can't do it. I can't do it. I won't do it kind of thing. To yeah.
Gotcha.
Limited belief. Does that make
limited.
sense? Like a limited mindset.
Limited mindset.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. That
There's
one.
a for the type of person who pushes someone down in their own favor. There's a word for that. What is that word?
Is that narcissism? Just
Yep,
coming to mind?
narcissistic. Yep.
Narcissist.
So
Another
let's
one.
define that a little bit. Let's give it a name. It's narcissism.
Yeah,
Okay.
I like
So let's
that.
write that down. Narcissistic.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Awesome. Angela, you're next.
I guess my two would be I hate people that cannot manage their emotions and use others as punching bags. Like, I need you to manage me. And the second one is I hate people that try to manipulate kids. So, like, a top pet peeve of mine is like, don't, yeah, yeah, I hate it. I
Yeah.
hate it. Passion.
We can
So, yeah,
actually just call that manipulation in general,
yeah.
right? If they're doing it to kids, they're also doing it to adults. Okay.
Yes.
Some manipulation. All right. So let's give that a name. Manipulation. Okay. We got narcissism. Okay. We got violence or violent people. We got aggression, which then leads into violence and violent people. Okay. Awesome. Now, these are the things which you all would agree. And again, I can't see the chat, so I don't know if there's people participating in the chat. I apologize if I didn't call your names. I'm just calling on people who I could physically see. So we agree that these are the things that we cannot stand. Is that correct? Everyone, yeah, shake your heads, yeah? Okay. And keep in mind too, language is very important. So if you want to express yourselves in something that's in a negative form, hate is such a strong word. It's incredibly strong. So that's why you keep hearing me say things that we dislike, right? So we just want to watch our words because, when we write with our pen, it's called spelling. You want to know why? Because words create spells.
That's good.
So that's why it's important to watch our words. Yeah.
The
Okay,
words is
cool.
powerful.
That was such
Words,
a good.
yeah, words are super powerful, right? Even in a negative form, they're just as powerful in a positive form. Okay.
I don't even use the word hate
Yeah.
after I learned about it, the language.
Awesome. So here's what we're going to do. Now we're going to move to the right-hand side of your capital T. So on the right-hand side of the capital T, we're just going to use this one example here to prove what we're going to do on the right-hand side. Now, on the right-hand side, and don't start yet, what we're going to do is we're going to write down the opposite of what we wrote down on the left. So, Leanne, if narcissism is something that which you dislike, that leaves a bad taste in your mouth, what actually is the opposite of narcissism? What makes you
Kind-
happy? But
Kindness, and what would be definitely kindness makes me happy.
kindness.
Yeah, lifting people up.
Mhm.
So
What's
encouraging people.
encouragement? Yeah. See
Yeah.
what I'm doing here is I'm actually bringing it to a root word. So bring it to a one root word that defines the opposite of what you wrote down on the left-hand side. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, guys, go for it.
Okay, one root word. It's like I'm 3 steps ahead on this one. This is going to be, this should be. I've got two of the same thing. Can you write the same word again?
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm stuck for a word. What's the opposite of judgmental?
Open.
Open.
oh, I put
Right. When
supportive.
someone's judgmental, they're closed off.
So I
The
put
opposite of being
supportive.
closed is open.
Open. Oh, okay, that's a different word there. Aggressive, caring, loving.
Opposite of aggressive could be patience. They're patient.
Okay, done.
Okay. When you got it, raise your pens just so I know you got it. Andrew's done.
I had a few. Okay.
Okay. Leanne's done. Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Angela's done. Angela, you sure you're done? Yeah. No? Keep going. You're
No,
good. Keep going. Keep going. All right.
she got a list there, but
Angela's having fun with this exercise. She's smiling and everything.
Because I'm right all day. So this is my thing. You got me in my element.
she got me back journaling, Angela.
Ah,
Write it out.
Leanne, you got some time if you want to look at your answers or define them further. You got some time.
sweet.
And some thought dumping going on as well. Let's see what we're doing. Talk. Yeah. Oh,
What's that?
yes, we got here. Spelling, just reading what you just said, words when we write, Leanne said, are spelling words and creating spells. That's why Hollywood is so powerful. If you didn't know, they cast in spells, you casting
Mm.
Mm-hmm. If you
I never
really
thought of
wanted
it.
that.
It's
in
so good.
film and programming. They
Yep.
say what they're doing. Programming, casting spells, scripts. They
You
go
know, I
for it.
know. You know how they came up with the name Hollywood? This is really going to blow your minds. So, holly is a type of tree,
Oh yeah.
and what witches used to do is they used to carve pieces off of this tree, branches, and cast spells with them.
Yep.
And so, Hollywood is the wood that comes off of that tree to cast spells.
And that's what they do.
Holly, that's what they do with music. That's what they do with movies. That's what they do with television.
Yeah, wow.
Actors do it all day long. They cast spells.
Yeah.
And they named a city after the tree that casts spells.
And then they brainwash you with the programming.
Yep. All right, cool. All right, let's bring it back. All right, so is everyone ready? Yes? Miranda, are you good? Yeah, good to go?
Mhm.
Leanne's good. Okay. Angela, are you good? Yeah, good. Awesome. All right, cool. So, and Andrew, you're good? Andrew's good too. All right,
Yeah, yeah.
awesome. All right, we're going to do random fire. We're going to go with Miranda, and then we're going to go Leanne, Angela, and then back to Andrew. And I want you to give me 2 words in which you wrote down on the right-hand side, which are the opposite of what you wrote down on the left. Miranda, go. What do you like? What brings a smile to
Respectful.
your face? Respectful.
And a child nurturer.
Child nurturer. Okay. And that was for pedophile, right?
Yep.
Child nurturer. Let's try and drill that down to a single word. I'm going to come back to you, but there's a word there. There is. When you think of someone who is a pedophile, see, I want to do this without giving you the word. Drill down on that, and I'll help you come back to it if you don't have it. We'll come back to you. Leanne, give me 2 words, right-hand side.
Able and
Able.
humble.
Humble. Awesome. All right, Angela, 2 words, right-hand side. Bring a smile to your face.
Uplifting.
Uplifting.
And I guess mine is emotional intelligence.
Okay, emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence. Okay, Andrew, go for it.
Grateful and supportive.
Grateful and supportive. Okay, awesome. All right, we're coming back to you, Miranda. Okay, what's a single word that we can use to identify opposite of pedophiles?
Parent.
Parent. Okay, we're getting there.
Then again, some parents are pedophiles, so you can't use that. So
Mhm. So when someone is a pedophile, okay, again, I don't want to give you the word, but for the sake of this exercise, you can redo this. All you guys can redo this exercise later, right? So, but this is just the sake for the exercise itself. When someone is a pedophile, do they honor children?
no.
No. So the opposite of someone who dishonors children is someone who is what? Honorable.
Honorable. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Honorable.
Now we could probably find a better word for that, but that's the thought path I want you to take there.
Okay.
Okay.
Honorable.
Someone who honors children who would never do that is someone who's honorable
Gotcha.
as a core value. Okay.
That's honorable. Gotcha.
Okay. Awesome. All right. Here's what I want you to do with the words that you wrote down on the right-hand side. What I want you to do very, very quickly. You are not to think. You are to circle 3 and circle them now. Now. Fast. Go. Circle any 3. First 3 you see. First ones to stand out to you and jump off the page. Circle the 3 now.
Which ones were we supposed to be circling? Jeez.
Right-hand side.
I've done
Circle
it.
3.
Done
Do
it.
it now.
Done it.
Awesome.
Done it.
Andrew's got his. Angela, you got yours? Okay. Leanne's got hers. Miranda, you got yours?
Damn.
Okay. Awesome.
I didn't
Angela,
even
tell
think.
me Tell me the three. Tell me the three you circled.
Uplifting, emotional, and honorable.
Uplifting, emotional, and honorable. Awesome. Leanne, go.
I did the top three. I just did humble, kindness, encouragement, just as I was going down.
Humble, kindness,
I didn't even get to the
encouragement.
end of the list. It was like, quick, quick, quick.
There's a reason why we did it as quick as we did. Okay. Andrew, you're three.
Positive, listen, and loving.
Positive, listens, loving, and Miranda, go.
Uplifting, respectful, and honorable.
Uplifting, respectful, okay, honorable. Okay, guys, we are at the 5-yard line. We're about to get to your values. Are you ready? Okay, at the top of that capital T, what I want you to write down is in big letters at the top part of the capital T, right? You're going to write down, these are what my values are. Underneath that capital T, you're going to write down your 3 words that you circled. Okay, but we're almost there. We're almost there, I promise.
Repeat the last part again.
Yeah, at the very bottom of that capital T, at the very bottom where leave some space between the capital T and what you wrote down. You're gonna leave a little bit of space and then write down the 3 words you circled.
In one sentence?
Yeah, you can write them bullet point. You can write them on the same line. Yeah, doesn't matter.
Okay.
Okay. Awesome. Now I'm going to come back to you, Andrew. Okay. 3 words you wrote down was positive, listens, and loving, right?
Yeah, that's interesting.
What kind of emotion comes up when in you? How does it feel to be positive?
It's warming. It just
Warm.
lights me up inside.
And how does that feel?
Awesome. It's what keeps me
How does-
smiling. It gives me my energy that I have 24/7 pretty much.
Okay. Awesome is like a benefit of warm. That's an effect of warm. How does it feel? What's the feeling when you're warm?
Capable, indestructible.
Okay. Indestructible. How does it feel to be indestructible? What kind of feeling?
Feel happy.
Quick. How does it feel? Happy?
Happy.
Okay.
Happy.
Okay. And when you're happy, how do you feel? Quick. What feeling does that bring you? What does happiness bring you? Quick. Go.
Joy.
Quick. Joy. Awesome. Joy. When someone listens to you, how does that feel? Quick. Go. Quick.
Great.
Quick. Great. What's great? What is that? Go. How does it feel? How does it feel when someone listens to you? How does it feel? Go. Go. Happy. Okay. All right. Awesome. And then the last one I really like for you, which is loving. Let me ask you a question. Which one's more important, loving or joy?
Loving.
Which one's more important, joy or happiness?
Joy.
Which one's more important, happiness or love?
That's a deep. Love.
Awesome. Here's what I want you to write down. On one line, I want you to write love. The line under that, I want you to write down joy. And the line under that, I want you to write down happiness. You know what you just did? You just called out your core values. Love, happiness, and joy. Everything you do in life is based around love, happiness, and joy.
Yep.
Everything you do. And if you don't do it, it's because it's incongruent with who you are as a person. It goes against love. It goes against your happiness. It goes against joy. Make sense?
Yeah.
So at any time, if you come across a situation, you ever found yourself in a position where you said no to something, you just couldn't figure out why you'd said no to it?
Yeah.
It's because it went against love, happiness, and joy. So as you move forward in life, the things that are going to give you the most out of life is anything that's attached to love, happiness, and joy. either for you or for someone else.
Okay. Wow.
You guys
Okay.
like this?
Mm,
You
It's
guys like this? Yeah. So this is how you extend this message out into the place, into the world. Because we're all school community builders here, right? So you want to create the perfect school community. Lead with your core values. What I mean by that is if you go into my community has a pinned post. My pinned post tells you what my core values are. My core values is freedom, love, and joy. Anything that goes against my freedom, I know is immediate no, I'm not doing it. Anything that goes against love, I'm not doing it. Anything that goes against joy, I'm not doing it. It's not happening. This is the reason why I never stole when I was homeless. It goes against my values, right? So in your school community, you can put a pin post, tell the world what your values are. So when people join your community and they see your values, if those values are misaligned, they're incongruent with your new member, guess what's going to happen? They're going to bounce. Sayonara, fucker, get the fuck out. But people who do align with those values, they're going to stick in your community and stay there forever. Because they also want happiness, joy, and love.
We just got Joy that just joined. Christina Joy. See, Joy.
Yes.
Wow.
So you guys following me?
We're raising up some
These
frequency here, boy. This is serious. Yeah. I'm feeling
these
it.
values lead everything that we do, either consciously or subconsciously. Everything you do are led on these values. And it's just 3 of them. That's it. Everything we do. And if you want to align with people who understand those values, put it out there in the world and let them come to you. And those that are incongruent with that, let them go. See ya. Bye. It's okay if their values are different. They just don't match yours. Bye. See you later. Right? Miranda, let's go to you. All right. Hey, Joy. How are you, Christina? And Ann. Hi, Ann. Okay. You guys joined us in like
And
a very interesting part of our talk.
yeah.
Okay. So, Miranda, let's go. Okay.
Yeah.
So the 3 words that you circled are what?
Uplifting, respectful, and honorable.
Uplifting, respectful, and honorable. How does it feel when someone is uplifting? How does that feel to you?
Warm.
What's warm? Quick, fast. What is warm feeling? What is it? Now, come on, let's go. Now.
Family.
What is warm? What is it?
Family.
Family. What's family? What's a feeling you get when you think of family? What do you feel?
Closeness.
Closeness. What does closeness give you? What is that? What's that feeling? Quick.
An embrace.
Quick. And what? And it was embrace?
An embrace. Mhm.
Embrace. What does an embrace feel like? When someone hugs you, what is that feeling that you get? Quick.
Together.
Don't think. Together?
Together.
What does togetherness give you? Quick. Go. What is it
Warm.
feel? Warm. What is that? What's warm? Go.
Home.
Go.
Home.
Home. What is home? Come on. Feeling. What is home? Come on. Go.
Family. Still
Go.
family.
Family. Okay. Family is a benefit of where we're going, but you're getting something that's there. What is that thing that is there? What is that feeling that family gives you?
Love.
Don't just give me what I want to hear.
No, love.
Yes,
That's what it is.
Okay.
Love.
Yes,
It's
love. Awesome. Okay, good. All right, love. Let's move on. And so your next one was, what's the second one you said? Respectful. When someone is respectful towards you, what does that give you? Feeling. How do you feel when someone is respectful towards you?
Powerful.
Good word. Now, powerful is an end result. So what is powerful? What is the feeling that powerfulness gives you? Just a feeling. For someone to be powerful.
Strength. Honor.
Strength. Honor. Strength is a great word.
Bold.
Let's write down strength. right? And when we think of the word strength, we think of strong. Yeah.
Yep.
But I like strength for you. Strength is really good. So we wrote down love. We wrote down strength. Okay. What's the third word that you circled?
Honorable.
Honorable. When someone is honorable, when you see them being honorable, what kind of feelings that give you?
When I see someone being honorable, what feelings do I get?
Quick, no thinking. Quick. What is it? What is it?
Iceberg.
What is
Ice
it?
cold.
Ice. No, when they're being
Ice.
when they're being honorable, where are
When
they
they're
coming
being
from?
honorable,
Yeah.
I think of a soldier. I think of someone strong. Ice, like just that's what I see in iceberg.
When you think of a
With no
soldier, what do you
strength.
think of? When you think of a soldier, what do you think of? What does a soldier bring you? What do they do? They protect. What is
Serenity.
protect? Yes, serenity, protection. What is protection? There's a word for that. What is it? Think. Go. Come on, let's go. Come on.
Green. I don't know. I just see an iceberg. I don't
when you're
when I see honorable, I see ice. I see just a wall of ice, just strength,
strength,
unbreakable.
unbreakable. Yes, strength. If someone was strong in front of you, what is that feeling that they give you? If they're standing up for you and being honorable for you, what does that give you?
If they're being strong for me,
Yes. What is the sense there? There's a feeling that's there. Someone stands up for
oh,
you. What does
it
that
feels weird.
provide? Feels weird. Okay.
It
And
feels
this makes
weird
a
for
lot of
me.
sense. This makes a lot of sense because, this makes sense, right? This is why we've got this kind of thing going on, right? Right. So when someone is honorable and someone is defending you, it provides someone with a sense of blank. What is that sense? What is that feeling? Someone comes to your rescue. All right, let's take it away from you for a second. Okay. If you see someone come to the rescue of someone who is in hurt, someone who is being, there's people joining the
Bullied
call
in
late.
need.
Bullied, yes,
Okay.
bullied. They're in need. Someone comes to rescue them. What is the feeling that you get when you see that happen?
Pride.
Okay.
Proud of them.
Proud,
Happy.
happy. Okay. All right.
Shock.
So what I want to do is I'm going to come back to you. I really want you to work on this. Okay. You've got two. You've got love and you got strength. Right? Love and strength. I want you to work on that third one. Okay. All right. I know this is a weird spot for you. It's a weird spot for you because it's a weird spot for your brain. Because what your brain is trying to do is trying to go back on all your past experiences and try to connect what we're doing right now. And it can't. Because whatever story or programming that's there, that's not allowing you to break through. Okay. So I'm going to ask you to really dig into this. Forget the story. The story is the story. The program is the program. It's there. But this is a way that we can shift that story and program and put it in a different filter so you can connect with this word. Okay? Awesome. Cool. I'll come back to you. Leanne, you're next. Okay.
Yep.
Leanne, your three words. Go.
Humble, kindness, and encouragement.
Humble, kindness, encouragement. Fantastic. When it comes to kindness, what are you feeling? What's the feeling there? Go. What is feeling? What is it? What's kindness?
Love.
Love. Awesome. Okay. Very cool. Let's go to the second word. Okay. Humble. When you see someone's humble, what's the feeling that comes across? Quick. What does it give you?
It's like welcoming. It's gratefulness. It's humble. It's
Humble. Yeah.
open, like
Open.
just
Cool.
authentic.
Authentic. And authentic's a great word. How does authenticity make you feel? When you see
Yeah.
authenticity, how do you feel?
Interested. I feel like it draws me in. When I see
Mhm.
somebody that's authentic and in their own being, it draws me in. I want to know that person more. I'm curious. Like,
Mhm.
yeah,
Authenticity. So authenticity is the output. What we're looking
right.
for is we're looking for the feeling. What's the feeling that leads you to that when you see someone?
Uh,
How's it feel? How's it feel? We're talking about feelings. Get your head out of it. Feelings.
great.
How's it
It
feel?
feels, it feels great. It feels safe.
What's great? Feel. How's that feel?
Um,
Ooh, safe.
secure,
Yes, there's your word.
creative, creative.
Secure.
Yeah,
Security.
yeah,
Security. You said it. You
yeah,
said safe. You said secure. Security.
yeah.
The way that I'm able to identify this is if you mention it more than once subconsciously. That's why we go
Right.
fast. So I don't want you to think. I want it to come out from your subconscious mind, right? Not your
Mm,
brain. Your brain
mm,
thinks all day long. Your subconscious mind is where everything goes, where everything lives. All your emotions is in your subconscious mind.
mm.
It's why we go fast, right? So security is
Yeah.
yours. Love and security. Let's do your third one. Last one.
Hmm.
Yeah. What did you write down?
Encouragement.
Encouragement. How do you feel when it comes to encouragement? What does that feeling encouragement bring you?
It's how do I feel good about that? Um, it's edifying. It's acknowledging, um,
And how does that make you feel? Acknowledgement.
warm,
And how does warm feel?
love.
Love.
It's yeah, it comes back into that love.
Okay. Encouragement. What is encouragement? Encouragement. I like how it comes back to love. Encouragement, though. How does it feel? When someone encourages you, when someone believes
Uplift,
in you, how does that feel?
uplifting, edifying.
Uplifting, edifying, uplifting. Okay. And here's what I want you to write down, just for the sake of everyone else on this call. I really want you to come back to this exercise, okay?
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to do the same thing I do with you with Andrew. What's more important, love or security?
Oh, can it be both?
You had to choose one. What's more important, love or security?
Yeah, love.
Love. Cool.
Because you could
So
be in an insecure situation, but if you have love, love is definitely the,
okay, awesome. So here's what I want you to do. You're going to work on the third, but right now, what I want you to write down, bullet point on top of one, on top of the other. Love is
yeah.
number one. Underneath that, write down security. And the third one, I'm going to leave to you to figure out. Now, for you guys who are joining the call, we can do this call again, right? For anyone who's interested, right, we could do it again. And I know Christina Joy, you came in late, so that's okay. If you're having fun right now and this is really like intriguing to you, you could jump on our next call. We can do it. Okay. All right. So love is your number one value. Would you
Yeah.
agree? If anything comes into your life that's incongruent with love, you got a problem with it, don't you?
Yes, sure do.
So is security.
Yeah.
Anything comes into your life that goes against security, like taking away your freedom, you have a problem with it, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
Love and security are your two values.
Yeah.
Okay. Figure out the third. Okay. You may be okay with just those two, but we all have
Yeah,
three.
all seems to come back to that.
Mhm.
But
We all have three, right? So I would recommend just digging a little bit into your third. Okay.
mm,
Your life is going to get so much. Everyone's life on this call is about to become so much more greater because now it's like anything that comes against these that gives you incongruency with these values, you're just not going to do.
yeah,
You're like, no. And you can stand solid in your decision because you know where that decision's coming from. If there's incongruency with my security, I'm not going to do it. If there's incongruency with affecting my freedom, I'm not going to do it. If it's
mm,
inconsistency or incongruency that affects love in my life, either experiencing it or giving it to others, I'm not doing it.
mm.
Right?
I think you just touched on my third word, giving.
Giving.
Yeah,
Mhm.
definitely giving.
Yep. And there is also a feeling tied to giving.
Okay.
When we give, we're unrestricted. And what
Yeah.
is this? What does this give us? Not the giving part. When we're unrestricted, we have what? I mentioned it
Freedom.
actually.
Freedom.
Exactly. Freedom.
Yeah, which comes in the security though, doesn't it? Is that?
Well, freedom and security are different. So security is like your foundation. The freedom is what allows you to express and be yourself outside of that foundation.
Right, yeah. Got it.
So anything that comes into and has in some way, shape, or form tries to take away your freedom, you have a problem with that, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I have a problem
So-
for my family as well.
All
My bear.
right. So
My bear comes out. Yeah.
we've got your third word. So we're going to redo this, and then we're going to jump over to Angela. I know Angela's driving, but we'll come back. So we'll hit Angela. So same thing. What's more important, love or security? Real quick, go. Love or security? Which one? Love or security? Leanne.
Oh,
No, Leanne. Leanne, love or security? Which one's more important?
Love.
Love. Okay. Security or freedom? Which one's more important?
Freedom.
Okay. Freedom or love? Which one's more important?
Love.
Awesome. Okay. Write this down, bullet point, one on top of the other. Number 1, love.
Yeah.
Number 2 is freedom. Number 3 is security. That's your hierarchy of needs also. But that's a different conversation, right? We're looking to relationships. We're looking for people who mirror these values. We want people who love us. We want people who provide us with security. We want people who provide us with freedom, right? And when we get into relationships and things start to fall apart is because that person's now breaking our values.
Mm-hmm.
They cheated on us, so now we no longer have security. They're restrictive. They won't let me go out with my friends. Now they're taking away my freedom.
Mm-hmm.
You see where all this goes? Yeah?
It's good.
Cool. And to repair the relationship, all you need to do is say, hey, these are my values. If your values are different than mine, it's okay. We can separate. No hard feelings. But this is how your actions are affecting my values. Right? Cool?
Awesome.
You guys liking this? You guys liking this stuff so far? Yeah? Awesome. And Helen just joined us. Hello, Helen. So,
Hey
all right.
there. Hi, how are you doing?
Hi. Okay. So we're in a little bit of an exercise right now. And this is for everyone who joined us. We're in a little bit of an exercise. This exercise that we're going through is allowing us to identify and recognize and bring to the forefront from our subconscious minds what our values are. And this exercise that we're going through currently at this moment is helping us on this phone call identify what those values are. And then when we're able to identify what these values are, it really speaks to who we are as a human being on a level that is like soul level. It's deeper than soul level, where the analytical mind cannot keep up. And the analytical mind cannot get in the way because all this comes from a soul level. And the soul level is our values, where everything that we currently do in life is all based on our values. And we all have 3. And if anything comes up that's incongruent with those values, right? It comes up and it's incongruent for a reason. Whether we know our values or not, they're there. And it's incongruent because they don't match. They don't align. So what we're doing on this call is we're identifying what those values are through an exercise. So now when anything comes up in life that's incongruent and doesn't match, we know why. It's because it doesn't match with love, doesn't match with my security, doesn't match with freedom. Yeah? Cool. So that's a quick cliff notes for everyone who just joined. We can do this call and you guys can all go through the exercise on a separate call, right? All right, so let's go into Angela. I said I would get back to you, Narenda. So let me get Angela first because Angela, I know you're driving right now, Angela, but I want to give you a chance to chime in.
yep, I'm here.
Okay. All right, Angela, what are your 3 words that you circled?
Uplifting, emotional, and honorable.
Uplifting, emotional, and honorable. Okay, so we've got some words here, which we've already said. So we know where honorable leads to, don't we? When someone is honorable, how does that make you feel? When you see it.
How does it make me feel? It makes me feel like I can trust you.
Trust. And why is trust important?
Um, because trust means that I mean, it means that I can be free with you. That means I don't have to have a guard up. I don't have to
When
put
you
on
have
Chicago. I have to be in defense.
when you have someone who you know you can trust, how does that make you feel?
Um, good. It just feels good to know that I can trust you. I don't feel burdened.
And you're breaking up a little bit,
to
but I heard it feels
like
good.
uh, yeah, it feels good. No burden.
Okay. How does feeling good feel? When you feel good, how does that feel? What are you feeling when you feel good?
See, this is why my phone will cut off.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Anna,
I get to church. My phone cuts off.
Angela, what we'll do is we'll come back to you, okay?
The one.
When you get into a better reception, we'll come back to
And
you.
it always happens so as I get on the call. Wow.
Okay. Angela, we can still hear you. We're in the car with you. Angela, turn the radio station. Okay, awesome. All right, so let's go back to Narenda. Narenda, all right, we're back. Okay.
See you.
Okay, Narenda, we're working on your third word. What do we have?
Yeah, honorable.
In the wall, so she not going to church.
Honorable.
She might
Okay.
not be coming back either.
When someone is honorable and you see this happening in real time, how does that make you feel? When you see honor in action, how do you feel?
Secure.
Secure.
Like I could trust them.
Like you could trust them. Awesome. Okay. And so when you think of security, how do you feel?
Free.
Free. Nice. And what about when you think of being free, how do you feel? What does that provide?
Boundless.
Boundless. So we can also go back to freedom here. Freedom and security. I'll let you choose which one you like, which one you feel and recognize the most.
Security.
Security. Awesome. And I think that ties back into what you said originally about things that you don't like. Remember what you said about things that you don't like? Specifically, people and how they treat children?
Yep.
It's because children are vulnerable, because children aren't secure. They don't have any security and they're taken advantage of.
Yep.
Which ties back to why security is your core value. Make sense?
Yes.
Awesome. Cool. So what are the three words that we have for you? We have security. What are the other two?
Love and strength.
Love and strength. Awesome. What's more important to you, security or love?
Security.
What's more important, love or strength?
Strength.
What's more important, love or security? Oh no, sorry. What's more important, strength or security?
Security.
Awesome. Cool. Write this down. Bullet point, one on top of the other. Number one is security. Underneath that, strength. And underneath that, love.
Right.
So anything that goes against, incongruent with you feeling secure, you probably have a problem with, don't you?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Anything that goes against you having the feeling of love and being loved on and loving others probably goes against you too, doesn't it?
Oh, 100%.
Mm-hmm. So those are your values: security, love, and strength. And strength also leads back to honor. Do those ring true with you?
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah. Awesome.
That's
See,
all.
human beings, we are not that complicated. We like to complicate shit, but we're not that complicated.
No, we're not.
Right?
We're
We are not.
We're fucked up, but we're not that bad.
No, but
Wow.
we all have great values within us.
Definitely
Right?
do. Thank you.
So you're welcome. So Those are your values. Anything that goes incongruent with those, you have no problem saying no to. No problem saying that's not right. Because it takes away your love, takes away your strength, and takes away your security. Yeah?
Awesome. Yeah.
Cool.
100%.
I'd be very interested to know what kind of communities you guys got on school. So, because it would be very interesting to see, now that you know what your values are and how you make every decision in your mind subconsciously, that if your communities align with those values. Yeah. Yeah. Narenda's like, yep, sure does.
Yep.
Yeah. Narenda, what kind of community do you have? I'm just curious.
I have a community called Nora Knows Me, and it is for people who suffer from chronic illnesses like myself. And it is a safe haven for people to go for hypnosis therapy and for them to be able to learn how to make money in the background while they're sleeping.
You guys see what she did there? Some of that language now should pop out to you. She provides a safe space, security, for people in her community who are going through trauma, want to get back to love, that feeling of love, right? And you provide people a place where they can make money, which is a sense of independability, being independent, which is also a sign of strength.
Solid.
You good.
Narenda's like, my mind's blown.
Oh, yeah. I've been saying that for months, and now all of a sudden it's clicking. What the hell?
Awesome. Awesome. All right. So has this call been super beneficial for you guys? Yes? Yeah. Christina, I do want to get to you. If you want to run through this really quickly, we can. If you want to go through the exercise, we can always save it for another call. We've been on this call for quite a while, and this has been an absolute awesome call. And Andrew said earlier too, he's not lying. I'm doing a conference tomorrow, Friday, and Saturday where I'm going to be speaking 8 hours a day, and I still showed up and hung out with you guys for almost 2 hours. And I'm probably losing my voice.
Can we pause for 1 second? I want to stop the recording and start recording again.